What happened, Andy?
I was running something, and I dumped the package.
When I stopped doing runs, you promised me you were gonna stay out of this.
They're gonna kill me.
They're not gonna kill you.
Contraband is full of characters that either are criminals or were criminals, but everyone ends up dragged back into the criminal world one way or another. What's your take on Chris?
Well, he's the kind of guy that I like to root for. You know, he's in this world, so, you know, he's on the other side of the law too, but he's at least more likable. He's fighting for his family. You know, he's fighting to protect his wife and children, and that's something that I can certainly relate to. Would do anything to protect my family, so I get it. And he's also, you know, he's as smart as he is tough, which I liked. You know, it's not a guy who's just tearing everybody's head off. He gets to do a little bit of that too, but, you know, he's really got to think on his feet and react to a lot of different situations, and the way it all worked out in the end, it was awesome. When I saw the original, I was like, wow. How come I hadn't seen this movie before? How come they hadn't made this movie before?
Your story and involvement with Contraband is fascinating. The movie is an English language reimagining of an Icelandic film, which you produced and starred in, right? So you were basically the Mark Wahlberg character. Tell me about the movie's journey all the way from Iceland.
This project was brought to me. I run a production company called Blue Eyes in Iceland, and directed a couple of movies there. I really liked the story, so I took it on, but I thought I was just asked to produce this in the beginning. But the director actually wanted me to play the lead and produce it. I really liked the idea of the story, so we developed it together. Went deep into smuggling and, you know, to figure out how people smuggle on container ships, and learned a lot about it. I always thought, you know, in my head, this might actually even be better as a remake than an Icelandic film, because the crime world in Iceland isn't that big, though it's growing. Unfortunately, we brought to Mark, who loved it, and I actually thought Mark was it was my first idea for the cast, because I thought he was like the perfect match for this kind of blue collar, you know, little bad boy, but you know, with good heart.
I could probably get us to buy money, no problem. I finally got something going. It's not going away, Chris.
Somebody want to share? Sebastian, want to share a little bit with us?
Okay.
Oh yeah, how do you think?
You don't want to stick around?
I get far too emotional hearing that story.
New Orleans, in your scenes, Panama City, even the tanker to an extent become these important characters. How important is it to actually be in these locations?
It's a luxury for actors. I mean, for myself, it certainly helps. Not to sound too esoteric about it, but the frequencies of a city, each one has a different dynamic, and however you want to file that. But New Orleans has its own energy, and I think it helped us all get into the spirit of import-export.
Oh, come on, man.
No, come on, man.
Are you gonna try to charge me full freight for a bad run? Customs boards the boat, you dumped that. You know how it goes. You know how many passes I gave your brother in his day?
Yeah, I hated my brother. This ain't your world anymore, man. You're a tourist. You can't trade on status you don't have.
And your character, Tim Briggs, he's a bad man. And it looks like you were having a blast playing him.
Initially, I was really scared to take on the role. But ultimately, you know, towards the end, when you start to feel a little more seated in the character, you definitely want to find the charm, I guess, as it were, or whatever.
Tell me about finding the voice and the tattoos. How much of that was you and how much was suggested?
A lot of it was based off of documentaries that I had seen. My character had spent a lot of time in prison, so I found that interesting and something to sort of hook into. The voice was really something that was sort of born out of discussions with Balthazar, and he really helped me. It was hard for me to be objective about it, you know, and he helped me sort of moderate that.
Say goodbye to your wife. Blood in the air, leave blood on the ground.
I'm coming for you.